Hello and welcome. This is Midday News. Thanks for joining us. Teachers and students of Ivongo Secondary School in Okapa, Eastern Island Province, fled for their lives last week when their school turned into a battleground. A violent clash between the warring clans of Kunia and Batami erupted within the school premises, forcing an emergency eviction.
The attack happened during dinner time when boarding students were in the mass hall. Armed with bows and arrows, the rival groups stormed the school grounds, causing widespread panic. School board chairman John Yaigu and principal Mackenzie Agusave have condemned the violence, stating that the conflict is unrelated to the school, its administration, teachers or students. Provincial Education Representative Robert Williams addressed the parents, guardians and stakeholders at the Ivongo Secondary School.
You must clear all this. Even no issue plus something. Please, surrounding community Ivongo ward. You block line. Why you block start cross fight na make him na disturbing thing lo picking lo here and become a good place. Good conducive or some of place where nice lo picking but sit down na all but study. You look in good place here. Why you fight now? You come showing more muscle marketplace now. All this like now. You make him all picking for it. That's why performance Lord picking come up good. Lord rating blow people law is knowledge. Now PB like passing school blow you got right law passing because you're not performing.
A high-level delegation from the Provincial Education Board and Okapa District, including senior inspectors and law enforcement, visited the school to assess the situation. They met with students, parents and community leaders to discuss the next step. The PEB has recommended the temporary closure of both the primary and secondary schools. However, parents and stakeholders have requested a one-week grace period to negotiate peace between the feuding clans. Community leaders have assured authorities that mediation will take place within the week before the full PEB team arrives next Monday for further discussions. For now, the future of Ivongo Secondary School remains uncertain as authorities monitor the situation. Carol Kido Jr., TVWAN News.
Change is imminent in the NCD command, with plans to change all 3 zone commanders in the city and replace with just one commander. Assistant Commissioner of Police for NCD and Central, Benjamin Turi, says these changes are necessary to address some issues that were brought to his attention. When speaking to the media yesterday in Port Moresby, Turi said law and order issues are escalating in the city, with many investigations from years still pending and not completed on time and to the expectation of the force. He said many members of the force have also been involved in certain crimes committed in the city and blamed the lack of management by the 3 zone commanders. Turi says zone commanders are not performing to expectation, leading to many negligence and complacency issues in the force. Therefore, Turi has taken an approach to do away with the 3 zone commanders and appoint one commander who will oversee all operations. This is to maintain command and control in the force.
So from the task force, from the 3 zone commanders back to task force, which is easy to manage and control the police officer, one commander and one sub ops. Those 3 zones, it's like everybody were running loose, creating little empires everywhere.
Turi said cutting down on police hire cars is another action that will be implemented to ensure fuel is preserved and used for operations purposes.
Cutting down on the number of hire cars in NCD2 because there were lots of vehicles, refuel, and then there's no productivity, You go refuel, come back, we don't see anything happening. So cutting down to reduce the number of hire car, because the hire car company also doesn't, the department doesn't pay for the hire cars. I don't know where they collect their money. So I even asked them to provide me the list. They can't even provide me the list for the last how many months now.
He said police officers are warned to make 5 arrests in a day and submit their report. Those who do not make an arrest will be given a warning to find another job or move out from the force. This approach is taken to ensure police officers are working.
Every policeman must do 5 arrests each per month. Some of them, they can't even do any paperwork. All the rest of their lives in the police force, they've never made an arrest. And this is the truth.
Minister for Fisheries and Marine Resources, TVWAN, this week addressed the gathering of Pacific Island leaders on East New Britain initiative during Honiara Summit. Minister Wong emphasized the vision behind the initiative as a collaborative platform aimed at enhancing coordination and cooperation among Pacific Island countries to advance their shared aspirations for sustainable tuna fisheries development. Wong highlighted that in the first quarter of 2024, PNG committed more than 1.8 million kina to the Forum Fisheries Agency to fund the initiative's program and activities. East New Britain provincial government has taken a proactive approach to strengthen its friendship with development partners operating in the province. East New Britain Governor Michael Marum facilitated a meeting between members of the East New Britain Provincial Assembly and development partners in Port Moresby, where Assembly members were given the opportunity to meet their partners in person and provide briefs about the ongoing projects in the province.
A provincial delegation from East New Britain are in Port Moresby this week to primarily present their provincial budget to Treasury. But while here, the Governor Michael Marum set up a meeting with major development partners, including government SOEs. Governor Marum acknowledged the work of these partners. Some of them include PNG Ports Corporation, the National Airports Corporation, who is managing the Tokwa Airport extension and reported to the delegation on its status, Hebo Construction, and CIGC, who presented the design of the new Provincial Assembly building, and the Secretary for Works, Gibson Holemba, who updated the progress of Rabal Okapa Road.
We didn't expect to have a big group turning out today, but I think this is something that we'll probably have to do every year. And I really wanted all the open members to be here so that all two must contribute. But apologies, some of them are out of town. They can't make it, but of course we can send a report back to them.
Works Secretary Gibson Holemba applauded the ENB government for calling such an important meeting to put their provincial plan in order. He praised the province for being one of the best managed provinces in terms of planning. First presentation was from CIGC, who are responsible for the design of a provincial assembly building concept, which will lead to the provincial government finally having a house for meetings after 30 years. Tiula Mwawaga, president of Raluana LLG and PEC chairman for infrastructure works, was grateful for the opportunity to meet with the heads of different partners.
Glad and proud, and I must commend the governor and the provincial administration for taking this initiative to at least bring us across with the team of administration to present the budget, but for this kind of meetings. Now, a lot of, this meeting today was mainly to give us some brief or status on some of the projects in the project, and these are, projects in the province, and these are impact projects that will benefit the people of our province. So I'm grateful to the governor and the team for arranging today's gathering, because a lot of impact projects like the Tokwa development project, the 4-lane road project, or the Namalu highway from Tokwa to Kokopo and eventually to Rabaul in the future, and also the PNG Ports projects.
Governor Marum commented that the turnout was more than expected and that they may make it an annual event. Maricela Kelaton, TVWAN News.
12 outstanding young Papua New Guineans have been selected for the prestigious KTF Actual Leadership Development Program. As KTF celebrated its 15th year, the 2024 Actual leaders graduated, paving the way for the next cohort of leaders. The Actual Leadership Development Program, supported by the Fred P. Archer Trust, Newmont and Kina Bank, provides an intensive 12-month leadership journey. The program includes workshops, professional mentoring, tourism support, work experience, and an exchange to Australia. This year's 12 participants, chosen from nearly 400 applications, come from various universities and academic backgrounds, all sharing a commitment to social change. KTF CEO Dr. Genevieve Nelson emphasized the program's impact, highlighting that Hacha alumni continue to make significant contributions to policy, governance, and community development. The event also saw guests including Australian and British High Commissioners and former politician Dame Carol Kidu, who joined in celebrating the next generation of leaders. In sports, the PNG Baseball Softball Confederation is in a rebuilding phase to improve major softball associations across the country. Under the leadership of President Jenny Pak, since elected in 2024, is pushing the Confederation to revitalize softball not just in Port Moresby, but also in strongholds like Lae, Ramu, Midday, and cities in the Highlands region, such as Henga and Goroka.
The momentum for the revival of softball in the country was prominent during the 45th National Softball Championships in Rabaul last October, which coincided with the PNG BSC's first annual general meeting. The event marked a pivotal moment for the sport as only 6 centres participated: Moresby, Rabaul, Kokopo, Warangoi, Kavieng, Bulumunski and Popondetta. The championships and AGM were essential for the reinforcement of softball's recognition by the PNG Olympic Committee and for establishing a pathway starting with the women's softball to return to international stage, especially in the events like the mini games and the Pacific Games, which have been a gap in participation since 2015. Looking ahead, Kavieng has been awarded the hosting rights for the upcoming National Softball Club Championships for September 2025. Major softball centres in mainland regions, particularly Lae, Midday and Hagen, are encouraged to affiliate with the PNG BSC and register their participation for the September titles in Kavieng.
This year alone, we're hoping that we can get this. Not most of the Mamasa region actually came through, or the Highlands region. It's mainly the Port Moresby, Popondetta, and Rabaul and Eastern Britain and Kavieng and New Island. So we're looking at Mamasa, not Mamasa as in Lae, Midday. They've been very vocal as well. So we're reaching out to them for their affiliation to come through today, but as well as guiding them on what our requirements are for them to affiliate to the federation. Yeah. So we're hoping that in these championships, in the National Club Championships in September, we get maximum participation from all the respective associations for both the 4 regions of this country. Yeah.
The call to action reflects the PNG BSC's commitment to rejuvenating the sport and ensuring its growth at all levels within the community. With the support of local associations and players, the Federation is poised to lead softball in Papua New Guinea into a promising new era. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the news update. Join us at 6 for more.